That is nothing but what is the agrotourism is nothing but in current agricultural scenario, what we required for the things. Say different ways will come across. This PowerPoint will be there here. You can go through and you can make use of for the future usage also. Then what I can able to say, the food grain production. When the food grain production will come across, it is increasing. When the food grain production is increasing, we are in touch with agriculture. Agriculture sector is increasing continuously. When it is continuously increasing, we'll compare how much of the growth is there. We are doing some work. When we are doing some work, how different ways we can also tap this agriculture. It is not only for the case of food production. In future days, it may be for agrotourism also we have developed. Because some of the students, if you go and ask any of the elementary school children or high school children, they will say a rice tree. Instead of a rice plant, they can say rice tree. Their mindset of the rice plant, it is maybe a big tree, it may not be a small plant. If we are not cultivating this one, how much, what should be our nature? Nature is not only related with the environment, it is related with the case of the crops and their design and their usage and what is the food production. All these things we have to consider. That is what I can able to say is agriculture is continuous thing. Production is continuously increasing. We have to take the different parts of the usage into consideration. Among that one, the agrotourism is the one. Then you can, if we can see the 21st century or 22nd century or coming centuries, how the agriculture will be there. Food production is increasing, land area is limited, demand is increasing, and environmental stress is there. We have to take all these things into consideration. One way, what we can call nowadays sustainable agriculture. The sustainable agriculture is nothing but we have to sustain. Our lives has to sustain, food production has to be sustained. It should be sustained for your children, your grandchildren. With this concept, agriculture production not only we can come across, the production is increased, but how much of the damage we have done for the environment, that also we have to consider. And we have to teach that one for our children to protect the sustainability, not only in the food production, for the future days, how they will take the agriculture is the only one way how it will protect the environment. And this is the how we are linking agriculture versus tourism. This tourism is the one. Don't take the tourism means it is only the tourism with related to historical places or temples or some other things. The tourism is when we will take the tourism of the advanced countries. I can say India is also an advanced country, advancing country we can say. But actually we advanced country when we can check with the case of some of the aspects of other countries. Where the tourism is continuously increasing. You can check this one before Corona and after Corona. Before Corona, tourism is there with what you can say with a lag phase. After Corona, everybody is having some of the psychological impact. Yes, with 2 years or 3 years, we are house arrested because of some of the health related issues and other things. We will fulfill all our desires to in visiting of the places and visiting of some other things to have the exposure to some of the new things. The after Corona, if you come across, the tourism is still increasing at a fast rate because life is short. Let us enjoy the life when we are alive. This is the concept most of the people will come across after Corona. And this might be a reason why the tourism is increasing in current days. Then you'll come across the tourism in the different years also. And what are the different types of tourism? Now the concept is changing. It may be a different things. When you will take the different other countries, they are giving the agriculture as a not a only agriculture food production, the agriculture for environmental safety and sustainability. When it is there, we can exploit the other side of the coin, like we'll go for the case of the one beach tourism. It's a very common wherever the beaches are there. We can link up with the case of coastal agriculture. The coastal agriculture is the one we are coming across. Very much of the extent of the coastal area is there good fisheries are there, and other coastal saline research centers are there. It is the one way where we can tap the things. Then ecotourism. We are doing the agroforestry. When the agroforestry is there and some other things are there, why not we go for the case of the ecotourism? Ecotourism is the one in nowadays, it will be going to support a lot for the case of future generation. Intentionally, I have selected this topic because the PG and PhD students will have your own mindset in generating of this one. Maybe in coming days, your regular government jobs will be decreased. You have to search for your own ways of money earning or any new jobs or new projects you have to plan or new business. They will support you in planning of the things and you will come across a health tourism. Health tourism actually, we won't come across. If we can read some of the articles, the health tourism is the one where Kerala government is getting more money with the case of health tourism. The resorts, Ayurvedic resorts, health spas, all these things they will come across in the case of health tourism. When these people are looking after this one, we agriculture people, why not we think about health tourism? We are having different types of the rice varieties. Some are having a different farm. I will give you one more example. We will come with the case of sugarcane jaggery making. The old method of jaggery making where we will make into balls. Nowadays, we'll make into a powder form. Actually, powder form of the sugarcane, it will develop a long chain sugar, long chain sugars. Thereby, the release of the sugar is very slow. That's why we will compare to the balls. The powder form is sweetness is slower because its releasing pattern is very slow. Then why can't you relate that one with the diabetic patients? Definitely. Like this, there are n number of things are there with us, but we are not exploring. By health tourism, we can link up with this one. We will come across. And another one, millets. Last year, we have the International Year of Millets. So many number of millets are there. You will tap the millets and its nutritive value, and we can give the awareness. That is the one where we'll come with the case of health. Always, we mindset is like that. Health is nothing but doctors, medicines, and operation theaters. It is not only the thing, we agriculture people will also have the chance in the case of the health. Then you can have the backwaters. Wherever backwaters are there, our mind is always thinking about how the drainage methodologies we have to develop. Along with the drainage methodologies, we can make use in the case of this backwater tourism and cultural tourism. Cultural tourism is not only the dance and songs. We agriculture people will have a more cultural things. You can take a paddy. Paddy straw is made into different forms. If you can check in the case of Amazon and other things, paddy straw and paddy grains, they will have a very good making of the handmade things and they will be marketed with a very high cost. Same paddy straw, paddy grains, we are throwing after this one as a waste. Just now in the experiment PhD one, rice husk is a waste abundantly available. We can make use of that one in different forms. Culture is nothing but dance, songs, and not other things. Whatever the natural things we produce in the agriculture also, we will convert and we will modify that one. We can make use. Then in the same manner, we will get the agri-tourism. Agri-tourism is specifically for taking of a crop cafeteria things and some of the other plantations, specifically maintaining for visitors. This is the concept we'll go across. We can tap all these things, then the concept of agro-tourism will be successful. Then it is the one where we'll come across linking of agriculture and also tourism. And there are different definitions are there, how we can make use and this there. Then this is the thing what we will come across. If we have to link up, what is there in the case of agro-tourism is, there is no historical places, no temples and other things. We can link up with the case of the farmer, a village and agriculture. That is our agriculture basic mandate. Farmer is our client and villages are our places of the working and agriculture is our profession. When we can link of these three things, it is nothing but agri-tourism. Then is a you need not worry about all these things. What is the growth rate and of agriculture industry and other things? One way I can say agrotourism is coming in future days, which is a successful for most of the agricultural graduates, because all the statistics it will give, and also some of the government policies are also designing like that. They will support for the case of agri-tourism. Then we say why agri-tourism? It is nothing but urbanization. Land areas are decreasing. Our children are, they are unable to identify which is a rice plant, which is a wheat plant, and other thing. I will tell you a small story here. If you'll teach a lesson to small moral lessons to the elementary people, there's a one story is there in common story. It seems in Tamil also. A lion and rabbit. A lion and rabbit, after seeing the image of the lion inside the well, is jumped into the well. When the story is there, the kid asked, what is a open well? The lion has seen his image in the open well, and seeing that it's another lion is there, he jumped into the well, open well. That girl immediately asked, what is a open well? Nowadays, we are not having sufficient open wells to show what is an open well. We are having a bore wells or some other ways of the irrigation. Like this, we have the thing, urbanization is the one thing. Then we'll come with, across the lack of awareness. Here the lack of awareness in the case of the urban people with the case of agro ecosystem. And another one is our children with their limited scope is there for exposure and classrooms. All our classroom teaching and other things, a corporate cultured education. In the corporate cultured education will come with the case of marks and other things, smart classrooms. Then when they are not exposed to the environment, they will not come across. Now we can able to see as a teachers and also students, if agronomy class is there in the practical class, from morning 7 o'clock onwards up to 11 o'clock, we used to stay in the case of the field to study practical aspects of agronomy in the field. But nowadays, the generation people, when the class is there by 9 o'clock, after 9:30, madam, we can't stay in the hot sun. Let us complete the practical class as early as possible because of the hot sun. Then the second step is daily one or two girls or boys also they are fainted in the agronomy class. This is the coming situation will come across. That is, at least we have some awareness. What is timing? In which time we can observe the plants keenly, practical aspects very keenly. All these things, the people are unaware because the culture and the way of the corporate education it is there. And also our people are living in the cities. You can see migration to the cities are increasing. The life in the villages are also decreasing. To have the rejuvenation of life in the villages, this agrotourism will support you, and additional income will be there for farmer. Why Kerala has supported more with the case of tourism is they tapped their natural environment to a maximum extent for visitors. Same natural environments are available with different states, but they are unable to tap their natural environments. Same backwaters are there, and some other coastal environments are there, but we have to explore that one. With this concept, the agrotourism is coming across. Then what are the basic things we have to consider in this one is, it is nothing but something for visitors to see. If we can see a new crop in the field, they will be happy. Then something for visitors to do. You ask some of the school children or software engineers, come and work in the field for paddy plantation, some other things, they will be happy. Why they have to spend their energy in the gyms to exercise and other things? It's an open gym, and we have to give the awareness. This is another one, something for visitors to buy. If three things will keep in the mind, then agrotourism will be successful. Something to see, something for visitors to do by their own, and something for the visitors to buy. If we can visit some of the farms in the case of the America, vast lands are there where crops are there. n number of crops they will grow, and directly we will go and pick our product. They won't insist to buy whatever they picked. We can pick. When we are picking, we will have our own choice in picking up the fruits. This is the one what I like. Like this, something we have to do, a harvesting operation or some other things. Then they will have some interest. Then something for visitors to see. Among that one, we can have all these things, nothing but integrated farming system concept. Whatever the components are there, integrated farming system, if we can include all these things, those are nothing but something to see for the people. Say gardening, cultivation practices, poultry boards, or anything you'll come across that is a IFS components, if you can maintain that is sufficient for to do. Then something for the case of visiting to do, nothing but you can involve the people in ploughing operation. Mostly they are happy. It may be difficult in the initial stages. They can involve and they will be happy and they will enjoy that one. And fishing, pottery, and rural crafts, we can make use of not only in agriculture. Whatever the rural part crafts and pottery will come across, that is mostly with the case of the residues of agriculture. When you can make use of residues of agriculture, some other things, that is also another one. Then fresh agricultural produce are there. This is the one, and government has made some of the policies. What should be minimum required for starting of an enterprise in the case of agrotourism? Here they have given minimum 2 hectares of land. Nowadays, procuring of 2 hectares of land by lease is not a big issue. Then sufficient water resources. Because in dry lands, it may be a problem. Even in the case of dry lands also, you can go for a farm pond. Conserve the water. Thereby, you can go for the case of development. Then rich agricultural residues. Everywhere, rich agricultural residues are available. We can't delineate wetlands, dry lands, or coastal agriculture. Maybe the flora and fauna may be different, but everywhere, every inch of the land on the globe will have a rich the natural resources and basic accommodation infrastructure. That what we have to develop. You make a 1 or 2 small huts with locally available things. Then pollution-free environment. That is what most of the agrotourism is attracting many of the people. In the cities, what we are lacking is, it is the one, a free air, fresh air is not there. If you go to any of the villages where the full of the environment is with a greenery, it is nothing with a pollution-free environment. This is the one, if we can stay in the case of a farmland, wherever full paddy cover is there, and compared to some other areas, it's a fresh air will come across. Then I will give you one more example here. If a person is suffering with asthma or anything, daily what the Ayurvedic doctors will suggest is, whenever a paddy field is there with a full of the greenness, daily go for walking for 2 to 3 kilometers around the paddy field. Around the paddy field. It says logic is very simple because pollution-free environment, oxygen-rich air is there. Then automatically the problem, it may be alternative medicine, but it will have a support. Such type of things we have to take into consideration, pollution-free. This is the one what we required in present days for development of agrotourism. Then sanitation and security. Agriculture is, if we'll ask some of the people come and involved in the agricultural operation, they will say, in a puddle field, we don't know any snakes are there, some other things are there. We say protection, we will give support. Nothing is there sanitation wise and protection wise, everything is safeguarded. Then automatically people will come and involve in the case of different operations. These are the different agrotourism activities for the case of the guest will come across, meeting of local farmers, puddling of the ports wherever the water is there, and spice products for sale, local festivals. This also another one, we can involve some of the local people to celebrate local festivals. When the local festival is there, first full moon of the what we can in the month of the June, generally in the case of Andhra Pradesh, they will develop Molakala Punnami, what we can call. That is nothing but day. That is the first full moon day where it starts with the case of the new seeds sowing and new seedlings are there. New seedlings means that is the one way how they will enrich the energy of the environment. Like that, we have to tap such type of local festivals into consideration, give publicity and involve the people, thereby it will have their advantage. Then some of the churning practices and experiencing the bullock cart, tractor rides, milking, and the folk dances and other farming activities, and understand the local culture, eating of ethnic foods. When this is there, when food is there, what we are serving with a locally available handmade things with a local things, then people will attract. Nowadays, we'll come across some of the branded shops like uh, Tati Bellam Coffee. I know what is a palm jaggery. Coffee made with palm jaggery. That is a very big attractive brand in the case of Andhra Pradesh. They are erecting very big shops where they are giving publicity. Coffee is made with palm jaggery. Full rush always. Because they have given some advertisement for that one. What is the use? Why can't they use palm jaggery is better than other jaggery and sugar? They made their own way of publicizing and they have developed their things. And millet foods. You will come across nowadays in the case of cities and other things, the diabetic problem is there. When any of the millet food is there, most of the people they are attracted rather than taking the rice or some other based food items. They will go for the case of ragi, jowar, or finger millet, kodo millet. All these things we can enjoy. The one which is having a good attraction is nothing but eating ethnic foods. Then buying of the fresh farm produce, you can establish one or two shops. You can sell whatever you can harvest from your things. Then this is the makeover for the agro-tourism. It is what is a way how we can develop in future days with your agro-tourism business. Have a catchy name for your garden and diversified species and activities and connectivity to cities and towns. If your agro-tourism unit is near to cities, in the weekends, you will have a n number of people as a visitors. Then nature-friendly accommodation. This nature-friendly accommodation, most of the hill station and other people, they are making use. Why can't we take with the case of agriculture and homely food for traditional way of serving and active guide with a good communication skills? That also we need. Everywhere will come across. When a tourism is there, always it is linked with a guide. That guide should have a very good knowledge with the case of agriculture in supporting and give good publicity. When nobody knows about our agro-tourism project and other things, publicity will not come across. Then tie up with a local tours and operators and drivers so that your project will be successful in the case of agriculture. And there is a network of the stakeholders and promotions of agro-tourism, how we can plan with the different things you will come across here. All the things from cooperative to tour operators to foreign tour operators to tourism institutes. Here, this structure is taken as one example for the by after going for one study from Rajasthan tourism. Rajasthan tourism is attracting more foreigners rather than Indian tourists because they made their good advertisement with a networking of different things. What are the different places and what are their local folk dances and other things they have given publicity by making of this one. Then automatically they have a, whenever you will ask for foreign tourist visits, their main thing is the Rajasthan and some of the important parts. How it will be successful is they are making this much of the network of the things. Then what is the role of agro-tourism in rural development? Because our agriculture people, always we are thinking about how to improve the crops and how to improve the agricultural production. Whether all these our technologies, what we have developed till today, 100% whether it is suitable for farmer or not, I can't assure. Up to some extent we are doing. Up to 30%, 40% of the benefit to the farmer is there. Out of that 30 to 40%, if we can increase the income to a farmer, it is the best way is let us develop agro-tourism with the same farmer. Then automatically give the promotion. It will have an income for the case of the farmer and other things. And to ensure while we are designing of these agro-tourism projects, you ensure the cash flow in the off season. In some of the May and April months, whenever the high temperatures are there, maybe we'll have a low population visits, tourists, and other rainy season. We have to make sure how the income flow will be there in the off seasons and create opportunity to sell the experience of the agricultural venues, then provide opportunity to sell the products grown in the harvested agricultural operations and generate the employment. This is the one point where you can catch into the mind the young agriculture graduates and other people. While you are establishing these agro-tourism centers, you hire 2 hectares and develop all these things. You are giving support for some of the other people. Employment generation is there. You treat it as a business. When you will treat it as a business, along with the case of the supporting to the farmer and also environment, automatically the agro-tourism will be increased. And also it helps in conserving of communicating the values of the rural life and also agriculture. What are the different ways? When you will think it is a business, then what are the income sources in agro-tourism? Sale of the farm produce, farm tours, so activities, all these things you can keep in the mind where different ways by all these things you can make use of these things for generation of the income. Then what are the key techniques you will come across? All these things which I already discussed, publicity and develop contacts with the case of NGOs, colleges and other things. Train your staff and family members how to involve fully in the case of agro-tourism, and customer wants what actually they need. If we can meet any of the software industry people who are working in the case of cities who are working for 8 to 10 hours continuously inside air conditioned rooms, they want to relax in the weekend. If we'll give support for the case of the Saturday and Sunday, we will have a groundnut harvesting. We made one project in this one. We nearby school children, we have given some of the support. Today, groundnut harvesting is there. You can bring your children and involve in that one. Actually, 10 acres of the land we have seed production the groundnut. All the school children of 8th class students they came. They really enjoyed harvesting completed, threshing completed, everything completed without involving a single labor. Really they enjoyed. We also completed our work. This is the way how we can involve and tap the things and use of local resources, serve to tourists and all these things. Feedback also you can take and how best feedback always in the business, it will improve in the case of how best you can change your business module in the future needs. Then develop different agro tour packages and preserve an address book, because all these points intentionally I have kept in this one for people who are sitting in the back side. You may think how best you can go for the case of agro-tourism development. Then what are the advantages? All these things which we are discussing here, the advantages will come across. When you can set up an agro-tourism project, you will be an entrepreneur, you businessman. Whenever you are a businessman, you are giving a employment and you are developing your business, you will reap your income. Then there are certain problems also will come across. What are the problems will come across in the case of agro-tourism is lack of perfect knowledge. The lack of perfect knowledge means if we'll ask some of the people come and see our paddy field, paddy fields I have seen whenever I was young in the case of my village. The varieties which was there during those days are different. Now it is different. Paddy cultivation is also different forms of cultivation we are coming across. It is a lowland puddle paddy fields are there. ID conditions are there. Semi-dry paddy fields are there. Drip irrigation wise also we are going for paddy cultivation. Our systems of production is changing. Whenever our systems of production is changing, we can teach that one. Paddy is not a new crop, but methods of cultivation is different. Like this, the perfect knowledge we have to give to the tourist or some other people who are visiting our things, be communication skills. Really, I worked in the teaching for more than 24 years. Most of the time when the placements are going across, our students are very, very weak in communications skills. They're having a very good top grade points. But when interview time, they won't open their mouth. The confidence in the case of giving of the communication is very weak. I don't know. It will be reflected for most of the agricultural university students. The communication skills we have to develop. You can see any of the tour guides. They are really having a very good communication skill. They will speak 3 or 4 languages. When always, whenever you want to attract one state people, if you can speak in that language, they will be attracted. That is the way how you can build up your communication skills. Thereby, you can attract more number of people. Then lack of funds. This is the one. Agriculture is a what we are thinking and farmers are thinking. Whenever you will ask any of the farmer, agriculture is not economical. That's why I don't want to bring my children into agriculture. This is the thing any farmer on the globe they will say, particularly in India. But it is not a thing. Agriculture is not new, but how we have to exploit the thing, explore the things are different. That is the way where the lack of fund is it is not with the case of the farmers who own money. There are more number of things. Even NABARD people also there, they are funding good amount for agrotourism. You can tap such type of funds. Then environmental safety societies. They will give, if you will develop more number of arboretums, that is nothing but a more number of trees of different species, they will support you. After establishing this one, you can go for agrotourism. Then is a unorganized sector is the one which is there in India is agriculture. It's an unorganized. If you will take any of the software industry, everything is organized top to bottom. Agriculture is not that much. It is because of agriculture is our backbone. Whenever it is a backbone, it is always our backbone. We are giving less importance. When problem comes, then only we look into our backbone. That's why it is a unorganized. We have to make everything into organized one, and we'll come across. And this is the one some success stories which I have given you. Agrotourism Development Corporation is there in the case of Maharashtra, particularly working with the case of Pune, which is a successful story. How agrotourism is the successful for the case of this one, and is a tourism industry by Panduranga Tavere. It was started in the 2005 itself. It's a successfully running. How it is successfully running is automatically they have opted all the things which are needed for the case of agrotourism. Then Agrotourism Development Corporation, Pune, these are some of the photographs will come across. Then what are the different objectives they have set up? This one is develop and promote agrotourism, jobs creation and income generation, improve their livelihoods, and increasing the awareness and importance of agricultural lands. This, Pune is the one. This is the one city which was what we can say modified into a different shapes because of software industry. Most of the lands around the Pune, they are owned by software people. When the agricultural land is decreasing day by day, then Maharashtra government has an idea how to have the improvement in the case of agrotourism, because Bombay and Pune, all these two places, Goa, they are more attractive to the tourist. When we can include this agriculture also, then it will be thing. That's why when I compare with the case of some other states, this Maharashtra people are very successful in the case of agrotourism. Then tourist flow will come across from 2005 to 2012, continuously increasing. There is no decrease. Even ourselves also, when weekend comes, we can plan where to go and where to we can relax. Relaxing is there, that not only in the case of the some other places, even in the agriculture sector also we can think. Then revenue generation is also there. Then it is some of the things there, the marketing and promoting agrotourism under Maha Brahman scheme is the one where they are giving very good support for the case of the farmers. Then governments and other financial supports will come across NABARD people, and also some other subsidized rates they will give by the government. Haryana tourism, Andhra Pradesh tourism policy, all these things they will support for case of agro-tourism. Particularly in Andhra Pradesh, uh, for this establishment of the project, LCG charges shall be reimbursed at the rate of 2 rupees per unit. That is agriculture bill, electricity bill will be reduced. This is one way where government is giving the support. Then Punjab farmers tourism, all these things they will have their own. In the case of Kerala, 5% of the farm area for tourism, and this move will greatly aid for tourism industry in the case of southern states. Like this, every state is has own policies in supporting of tourism. Then this is the one tourism project in the case of the Andhra Pradesh, where for development of any project, we should have any of this, at least one component, like agriculture farm, horticulture orchard, fish ponds, apiculture, dairy, or anything will come across in the case of this one. Then it's a mandatory of activities of agro-tourism. They have given farm day tour, including farm interactions, hands-on farming, interaction with the domestic farm animals, rides, games, showcase of rural life. All these things are their traditional meals. Then it will be successful. Then Maharashtra state agriculture policy is also the same manner. You can go through all these points instead of reading all these things. These are some of the things where government is supporting in the case of the giving of some intensives and certificates for that one. Then experience, explore and get enriched with the agro tourism centers of educational tours. This is one educational tour projects we can plan to support different school children and college children with a sum of the money, and some case studies are also there you can come across where economical appraiser of agro ecotourism with a case study. This is one case study made by some of the MBA students, and how much of the cost is there, how much of the income will come across. This is one study from Manage of Hyderabad, and what are the returns from agro ecosystem. They have given when the dormitories and other things are there, definitely they will come with the case of the income. Totally, the net income is around 23 lakhs we have given in the case of the advantage within 2.5 years. But we have to set up. Initially, it may be a difficult. In coming days, it will be a things. Then this is a management approach towards agro-tourism with a special reference to the growth and Western Maharashtra areas. This is the one study where they have also given. Then we can take in other countries like Japan, we'll come across with the case of some of the arts. This is the Japanese Tanbo paddy field art. We are also having the paddy fields, but there is no such type of arts are there. If you will make some experience and some expertise in this one, thereby we can attract, and they will involve the school children and other foreigners for the agricultural operations. These are the different arts will come across. Actually, this is a paddy field. For seeing of this one, most of the tourists are attracted. How is it? If you can take a Singapore into consideration, that is the one country in the globe which is attracting more number of tourists. It's a very small place. Maybe its total area is not more than Coimbatore city or Hyderabad city. In spite of this limited area, why it is attracting maximum number of tourists to the Singaporeans? They have their own plan. Everybody is interested to go and see Singapore. What is there? What is there in the Singapore is limited. What we are also having naturally in our country. They made all these things natural things in a protected environment. And in the protected environment, we are going and watching and we are paying the dollars to Singapore government. Same thing is there, which is there naturally, that we have to explore. In the same manner, paddy fields of the Japan, you can see how aesthetically they have designed this one. They are attracting more number of people, and these are some of the challenges will come across. Financial challenges are there, and also human resource challenges are there, technical challenges are there, situational challenges are there. All these things we can take into consideration. These are the different studies which are there in the agro-tourism, and said what is the problems will come across, what is the Karnataka farm tourism policy. And what is the views about this one with the case of positive sentiments and other things? These are the study reports will come across. You can need not worry about all these things. Major agro-tourism destinations in India, tea plantations. Why Ooty is famous for tourism? Maybe high altitude, low temperatures. Tea estates are also one which is attracting. Not only in the case of Ooty, the more number of hill stations are there. All the hill stations are not that much developed to attract the things. Because tea is nothing but it is also a vegetation which is coming in the case of agriculture. Coffee plantations, coconut plantations, cardamom, and other things. Is a top agro-tourism destinations in India. If you go through the Maholi farms, which is there in the case of Maholi, Maharashtra is the one. It's a very good example for the case of agro-tourism. And the 50 acres of the farmland, and it is having its own advantage with the case of Western Ghats and also in attracting of the farm people. And also they are making a very good environmental cases. That is plantations and plantation and attractions. They will have all these things they have given. In the attractions, tree houses are there, waterfalls they have developed, tribal dances, and some other dams nearby they have made for the case of visiting. Then Saguna Bagh farms, which are there in the case of Malega of Maharashtra. Actually, this is a little bit dry land. In spite of dry land, their setup is very good in of things. Then these are the different activities will come across in that one. And these all these things will come across. And Yatra is the one which is there in the Assam. This is also a very good agro-tourism project which is successfully running. And they are giving a different package for the case of the tourist. In the case of the experiencing in staying in the case of organic tea gardens, handmade green teas, and plucking of the leaves, all these things like that, they will think the things. Then this is the one in the Kerala, how an agro-tourism was set up, including they have their own backwaters and also yoga, meditation, some spa centers, all these things. This is one Darjeeling, where we'll come across with the case of a agro-tourism project. And this is in the case of Goa. There, Goa is the one which is attracting more number of foreigners. We can make use of such type of the visitors also to divert in the case of the Western Ghats some things where there they have the attraction of bird watching. This is the one and spice tours. Then ICR is also one which is supporting for the case of agro-eco tourism at Goa. Then say in our Andhra Pradesh, by having some of the other things, we set up one thing that is nothing but a new destination for agro-tourism in the Allur Sita Ramaraju district, which is a tribal area. Tribal area where near Vishakhapatnam, they had a very good hill stations and they have a cool climate and traditionally grown foods are there. Tribal environment is there where we had very good advantage in the agro-tourism, and rare is common here like organic farming. Naturally, they won't use fertilizer. That is nothing but it's naturally it is organic farms, integrated farming systems. You'll come across all the components there. Then they are years together, they are maintaining all these things. Then Rajma is the one which is commonly grown in the tribal areas. Generally, Rajma we can see only from northern Indian cool conditions, but here we'll have that advantage. Wheat also grown in a Rabi season, Niger. Because Niger is a the movies also will come across in the whenever Niger in the full blooming season, entire hill stations are covered with yellow flowers, carpet like things. Like that, it is very attractive for more number of things than floriculture, even gladiolus and other things. They will, because of low temperatures, we will have advantage in that one. Linseed is the another one which is very commonly grown, and millets. Millets, most of the millets are there with the case of the tribal areas. Then what are the potential things we'll come across in our area is a climate, agriculture and tourism both mixed, and farmers can improve their livelihood because mostly they are tribals. Then variety of local agro products and tribal products we will come across. And this is the one where our university has set up Agroturism Center at RERS Chintapalli, which is a tribal area where from Vishakhapatnam it will have nearly 150 kilometers. Hilly area, that is the one where we'll come across. Then when we can see agro-tourism, everywhere strengths are there, weaknesses are there, and some opportunities, threats are there. If you'll go for a SWOT analysis, before you are setting all these agro-tourism things, you will come across how best we can improve your business by following all these weaknesses and also threats into consideration to modify that one as a strength and opportunities. Then this is the conclusion with my topic. That is nothing but agro-tourism will be a potential business. Intentionally, I have selected this topic because I think 8 years back I have given one lecture here on, I think, on soil enzymes. Soil enzymes. That is restricted to only for the case of the people who are seeking for scientific knowledge. This is the one which is for future students. This will be possible for you when you don't depend upon, don't wait for agricultural government jobs. There are good opportunities are there. You can think over, tap the funds from NABARD and other things. You can set up your own agro-tourism centers. Thereby, you will be a good business leader for your juniors. And this is the thing you'll come across. And thank you. And agro-tourism is nothing but, it's not a, agriculture is age old. Don't get bored with age old practice. For next vacation, we can modify the agriculture. Then it will be good for the case of the agro-tourism. Thank you. I hope it will be focusing some light in the your PG students, PhD students for future stays. Any doubts or queries?
Thank you, madam. Your very nice presentations and then the new topic, it is an encouraging words for the youngsters and also for the researchers. Now, open this for any discussions, clarifications, please.
Because already we submitted some project for NABARD also to develop some of the things because Tirupati is known for tourism center. And where I'm working as a head today, now it is having a millets and sugarcane. Even sugarcane, value addition to the sugarcane like jaggery, different forms of value addition to the jaggery, all these things. Really people is a fetching business. If you modify the jaggery into different forms, really people are attracted to take a new things into consideration. Like this we have to, definitely we will convert. If a guide is there when they are explaining about some of the paddy, let us say one paddy variety is there. If we can support with some scientific things, how much of the iron it has, how much of the calcium it has, you can take some of the new improved, enriched varieties, biofortified varieties. If we can enrich with the scientific knowledge, that is also one way how we can support. Definitely you are maintaining all the varieties, crops, trees, different species. Automatically, whenever the vegetation is there, it can attract the insects, birds, and other things. Biodiversity conversion, if we can work out, you can set up a agro-tourist project and we can plan what are the different species of the plants, insects, birds, or other things. Automatically, biodiversity will be increasing with the case of agro-tourism. And you can calculate nowadays whatever the things will come across, how environmental safety is there with that project. 100% environmental safety is there with this one. Because when you can calculate how much of the oxygen is released, how much of the carbon dioxide rate is there with our scientific instruments, definitely it is the one way how it will be environmentally safe also. Organic agriculture, no chemicals at all. Then everybody is ready to pay 10 rupees extra for the case of organically produced foods. But we have to give the awareness, scientific support for how the organic product is good for the health of a people in compared to inorganically cultivated foods.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, good
Ma'am,
afternoon.
I wanted to ask that also integrated with agrotourism.
Yes. KVKs, it is not completely 100% mandate of that one. Based upon the interest of the KVKs, they develop that one. For example, actually the KVK which is there at Chintapalli area has given some support for establishment of this one. Thereby, they can extend the knowledge of that one to the nearby people or tourist people. What I can say, ICR has to take the uh, things into consideration in framing of KVK activities. It is agrotourism development is not possible in all the KVKs. Wherever feasibility is there, they can impose. Now you can say under environmental safety, they are going for uh, rooftop gardens. Rooftop garden is a one concept in all KVKs. Why the rooftop garden is? It is nothing but production of the vegetables on the rooftop and also safety and environmental things. Like that, wherever feasibility is there, KVKs can support. Sir, horticulture crops are more feasible compared to agricultural because agricultural is seasonal. Seasonal. If we can include horticulture as a basic one, permanent trees, in addition to that one, if we can go for the case of this seasonal crops, then it will be a good. Rice for 3 months or 4 months, but not for the case of continuously. Continuously, mango orchards are there, some other related trees we can maintain. In addition to that one, the agricultural component is house owners should act as a both host and guide to visit the tourist. This is a one way where the Punjab farm tourism, they will set up a farmhouse inside and they will support in the case of the guiding of the tourist. That is what we will come across there in the case of more Punjab is known for the case of wheat fields. In the wheat fields, they will set up their own farmlands and for what we can, just like a homestay concept. Homestay concept they can adopt and they will give the information about the wheat fields. Sir, wherever the possibility is there, we can include. Wherever there is no possibility, we can restrict for the case of field crops, seasonal crops. Here actually I had the doubt of this one. Agrotourism is specifically being we are the agricultural background people. Ecotourism is the one where it will have the effect with the case of including the society also into consideration, all other social things into consideration. That's why the ecotourism is mostly they are opted by forest department people. Forest department people. We agriculture department people, we can use the term agrotourism. If we can use that term ecotourism, no forest department people are there with us. If they are there, then we can make use. The government license, tourism people, they are giving some of the support, sir. Tourism department people in different, you can say, for example, the government of Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh also, they have, nowadays they will have in a policy making itself, they are giving the agrotourism is a one component for tourism. If they will include in the case of tourism, automatically they will give support making. Maharashtra is the best example in the case of agrotourism, where they are making, they are giving some intensives and also they are giving publicity and they are encouraging how the tourist people will give support for the best tourist operators and tourist places. They will give the encouragement by giving the certificates, other things for the agrotourism. Maharashtra is the one where we can take that one into consideration for our future.